All right. Good morning. Welcome to Forex.Today, the YouTube community of almost 20,000 foreign exchange traders. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Hey, my name is Wayne McDonald. I got my Tom Fords on today. Huh? Nice. Why is that? I heard he's about to sell his company. I love success stories like that, huh? Someone started out as an independent designer, smart, talented, then gets himself into one of the biggest design houses in the world, Gucci, works his way up through all that politics to be the lead designer, does that for many years, and then he's like, hey, Gucci, you know what? You're designing stuff for old ladies. We should be different. We should be more modern. And they're like, get the hell out. So he starts his own brand. Boom. Now apparently he's going to sell it and put billions of dollars into his pocket. Like, good job, man. Hey, if you can sell people $700 candles, you deserve the success, man. So anyways, good for him. So, hey, we gather here today to conduct technical and fundamental analysis with the overriding goal, putting together trade plans. Today, I'd like to not just do technical analysis, but I'd like to go through the calendar this week to look for opportunities and threats so we can do that. I will do my best to answer your questions about, let's say, technical setups or the fundamental environment that we're in. Just let me know. Please ask questions. Get involved. Been doing these live streams for almost 20 years. And every day I try to answer your questions. If I don't get to them, there are other resources over the last 20 years that I've put together to help. If you look in the description below, you will see a link to my book, a link to free training, a link to premium training at fxbootcamp.com. Hey, it'll cost you $88 a year, right? And a link to tradersway.com, an ethical, trustworthy broker that has earned my loyalty and respect through their actions, not through some advertising or banners or something like that, but by how they behaved in the real world. And since then, I've been promoting them. I suggest you give them an opportunity to earn your loyalty and respect, and you do that by visiting tradersway.com. Opening up a demo account. I believe after trading with them, you'll see the execution speed is fast, the spreads are narrow, the swaps are huge. And if you ever need customer service, they have above average good-looking people. Oh! Tradersway.com. Hope you had a nice weekend, everybody. You're looking good. Nice! Okay, going through the calendar here. Okay, I'm just looking at the big events of the week. New Zealand is going to make interest rate decisions this week. Okay, obviously that's going to be a biggie. The biggest day of the week, however, is going to be Wednesday. Okay, GDP out of Great Britain. CPI, oh my God, CPI out of the US of A. Then Bank of Canada is going to go through their whole thing. Are they going to raise interest rates or not? And then, oh my God, Aussie jobs. PPI will be more academic, based research because we're most concerned with CPI and PCE, but we want to know, is this going up or is this going down for, to help predict future CPIs in the United States, because this is input cost. And as you know, like copper is down, oil is down, right? Gold is down. And so maybe some of these input costs are coming down, which would then say maybe CPI has topped out and is rolling over. Could be, rabbit, could be. Okay? And then retail sales on Friday. Are things too expensive for Americans to buy? Or are they still playing and paying? And it'd be kind of interesting where I think retail in the, like let's say Target, for example. If you look at Target, Target has very high inventories right now relative to normal. Oh, spaghetti-o. And so does that mean retail sales are down? Or does it mean Target is a bad company? Or does it mean Americans are spending, but they're spending on less kind of traditional retail outlets? Like they're not going to Victoria's Secret to buy their bras and panties. They're buying them on Amazon, or maybe they're just going to Vegas and you don't need them. I don't know how that came up, but that was pretty funny. I didn't mean that, but that was pretty funny. What I meant is they're spending their money on travel and leisure. One of those days. Anyways, hey now. So, pretty important week. OFO show. Lots of stuff going on, either directly related to central banks or indirectly related to central banks. Okay, so that is interesting. Okay, let's take a look at what you're trading. We have statistically enough people voting. Thank you very much. Okay. Pound and euros basically split. Nobody really cares about the commodity currencies. Okay. Very interesting. Let's start with, well, I guess we're here. Might as well do this. Oil, okay, is kind of working its way to the bottom of the range. Back on Friday, I thought perhaps it would have gone a little higher and then come back. And so we have the comeback, so to speak. The buy zone for the week is in here. Okay, this is a buy zone here. So be very interesting to see if this oil recovers for today and then kind of produce something like that. That's my WTI. Gold is, I think, supposed to be falling, so that's that. I think gold can actually fall pretty far. We're getting ready for the big test. Let me change this here. Okay, the next big test is down here, but that's the 200 EMA. Like, oh my God, don't be shocked if we're on our way to 1500. I try so hard just to lose it all, but in the end it doesn't even matter, right? So anyways, so my, and let Bitcoin lead the way for your risk on, risk off, back to 20K basically, huh? We'll see if this stabilizes. Obviously, this is a role reversal, and obviously 20,000 is the psych level, right? Okay. Okay. All right. I guess dollar, right? Bum, 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 bum. All right. So how are we doing? Let's start with euro. I guess hourly chart's probably best. So in the day trading group last night, okay, we focused on, let's do this. We focused on this area here. I declared I'm very much bullish on the dollar and still very much bearish on the euro. So my plan was to take this down. I'll move my stop to break even. You can see it was a pissy little day trade. Short, I don't know where this is. So there we go. Short just above 106, 106.20. We're now down at parity. No, sorry, I can't even see that. 101.60. Now we're down to parity. Oh, pretty close anyways. Okay, getting there, man, getting there. So that looks like you know, about 100 pips. Okay, nice little skippy scalp. Obviously, I can move that to break even. Very cool. Oh, it's a little too close. Cool. Taking a look at Aussie dollar. Okay, I'll move this one to break even. Okay, I'm going to bring this over as a roll reversal. You can see from Friday, you can see it's hard to see, but from Friday, that was the trade plan at non-farm payrolls if you were there. Okay, so here we are, topped out, rolled over right during the day trading group. Short at, what is this, 68.50, and we're at 67.30, so that's about 120 pips. And it's moving fast, so that's a nice little roll reversal. So again, sort of up and down. We'll see where it bottoms out today. Looking at here, I'll move this one to break even. This is, it came up, hit the central pivot point, and then dropped, which gives us an S2 target of 60.58. I'm short at 61.80, and we're at 61, so about 75, 80 pips profit. So I'll look at that as the next kind of roll reversal. Remember, this has probably another 50 pips down. Cool, so I got that one at break even. Taking a look at Pig Dog. The trade plan last night was to get short in this zone. What it did is went up, basically kicked off the central pivot. That gives me an S2 target. Target currently is, you know, I guess I can drag the target out there too to be clear. Target would be down here, 117 and change, 117.50-ish. I'm short at 120. We're currently at 119, so that's about 100 pips profit. I'll move that to about break even. And USD Swiss franc. We looked at this. In fact, we looked at how beautiful the price action was. But I'm not really. Oops, that wasn't me. That was my mouse. Okay, but I'm trading fundamentally, not technically per se. Okay, so that. What else did I trade last night? So I'm up 500 pips for the day. Oh, a CAD yen and so a couple of Swissies. All right, so then let's do Swissy here. Tried so hard. Which did we do? All right, so pound Swissy. Let's zoom into here. Again, a pretty basic trade here. This is an M3. So you can see it came up, kicked off the M3. Because of the M3 being the top, now we have to stay below this area. So that's not a given. So let me move the stop now to basically break even. M3, the target is M1. So you drop this like it's hot. And that just gets us back to support. So pound Swissy short at, what is that, 117.50. Target is, you know, 115. So a couple hundred pips maybe. But the thing is, this is not on the free and clear plan. It's not like you can start spending these pips. Because if you were a bull, this is where you want to get involved anyway. So I fell through the ether. Right? And if there are bulls here, they're definitely going to buy this like this, right? So whatever. What I did is I got the one bearish trade I could possibly get on Monday. Okay? Okay? Cool. And what was the other one? Oh, Euro Swissy. Yeah, cool. And this one's a little bit different, so I'll move my stop closer now. All right, so this one is kicking off of the central pivot. That gives me an S2 target. Once again, you know, this is the buy zone. Whoa, Whoa, this mouse is crazy. Let me redo this. This is the buy zone if there were bulls. And this is the sell zone if there were bears, right? And so I'm short. So I'm basically short on the aggressive neutral zone. And we're just breaching through here, which might, if we hold below that, is really what we need to do is get through this, right? So it seems like we just might get through this. Let me use a different color. It's not guaranteed, of course, but the play here is down, up, and down. So if this is my entry off of the central pivot, the S2 is my target, okay? And that gets me down to 97. Okay. Yeah, it's all basic, right? All right, so what else is going on? Oh, gold, dang it, son of a... Don't click that button. I want to do some yens. Well, Monday you do all the time frames. Okay, yens are interesting. The way I broke down the yen had to do with my sort of respect for yield curve control. So what I suggested is if it looked like yen could weaken, it's contrary to seasonality, but a better opportunity in risk-on environments because the dollar is probably going to remain strong even in risk-on moments. So it's like, So if I wanted to get long something, I don't want to get long Aussie yen and I don't want to get short USD CAD. But if I wanted to buy CAD and if I wanted to buy Aussie, I would do so off of yen, but worried about yield curve control at the same time, right? So like, so I could, as I described last night, I could buy this. Okay, and you can see, well, you know, it's you can see the mediocrity, but if you were going to want to buy Aussie, maybe you could do it against here. And I wouldn't want to buy pound yen, and I wouldn't want to buy euro yen, and I wouldn't want to buy Swiss yen, but I could buy CAD yen. So we drop into a smaller time frame, and you can see like, I got the mediocrity that I sought. And so let me zoom in now. Okay, so we were up here in Asia and kind of wanted like this kind of thing. And it's kind of even off of tomorrow. It's a front run off tomorrow. It's a kickoff the 21. I want to buy CAD. Last night, so 12 hours ago, it looked like the yens could weaken. But like I said, I don't even want to consider euro yen. I don't want to even want to consider pound yen. Matrix is saying Swissy yen, but at the time Swissy was weak, and I'm a buyer of Swissy. And as you saw, I ended up buying it and ended up doing all right. And so like, it just kind of boiled down to the only opportunity I had to trade a yen south, meaning sell a yen, because at that time it looked like it was going to weaken. It was either CAD yen or Aussie yen, and mediocrity, right? And so what am I long? 105.20. We're at 105.60, so I'm up 40, 50 pips. I think I also grabbed the Aussie yen and lost. So if I'm up 50 pips or so, I lost 50 pips or so. So really nothing happened. And that's that. I think I can move this a little closer though. And that's that. And it's just farting around here. So you can see just like that in the last 10 minutes, 50 pips can come and go pretty quick. So the next big thing is, earnings season is starting. And I think, is it JP Morgan on Thursday? So we know we got all the, we have like RBNZ, we have the Bank of Canada, we have US retail sales, we have CPI, we have PPI. All of that is huge. But I believe in there we have JP Morgan reporting, and that's going to be the next big thing for risk on or risk off. And all of this is important. This is a really key turning point in the month. Also, today is Mutual Fund Monday. And if mutual funds were going to buy, they would buy today. But Asia was down hard. Apparently, Macau is getting shut down, and they're testing in Beijing and Shanghai again. So we're probably, plausibly, maybe not probably, but plausibly running into trouble with China again. But I have to do the research, but I heard that Macau might be shut down by, by like as much as 8 weeks, right? Okay. It's hard to follow you, Matrix. You're fired up today, huh? What's going on? Bugging who? I don't know. I don't know what's going on, Matrix man. So anyway, so that's that. I'm going to watch commodities again today. I might try to get on some of this WTI. So this has got my eye. The direction of the stock market's going to be important, because if mutual funds are not buying today, then that's not bullish. I might actually start trying to hedge the stock market for another wave down. We don't have big news until tomorrow night, I think. So we have probably just a nice, decent trading session today. So I'm looking forward to that. So again, I'm probably going to, in this case, if the stock market goes down today, I'm positioned well with the dollar, right? Okay. So if it goes up, then I'm well positioned by owning this stock. So by buying dollar, I'm essentially hedging my overall, portfolio, so to speak, right? So we'll see how that comes out. Don't really know, but again, Asia was down hard, and I don't know if we're going to get much good news out of Europe ever. So today is sort of like a reckoning day. It looks like we're set to go down, but hey man, the stock market's going to open up in 5 minutes, and maybe the opposite happens. Sillier things have happened, right? But I'm positioned really for things to get worse before they get better. The questions are, have we hit peak inflation? Because commodities have come down. The next concern is, because that might be bullish, but then are things going to get worse? Is there going to be a recession sooner? Is it going to be deeper? That kind of stuff. And that's going to be more related to earnings report coming out later this week and next week and the week after. So the way I'm looking at the market right now is, assuming institutional investors have a bias, and they would, then I would say, I would guess, how about this? A guess. Half the market would be, hey, the worst is over, things are going to stabilize, we'll get through summer, and we'll just kind of gradually get back to normal or something. And then the other half is things are going to get worse, maybe even much worse before they get better. And I'm still sort of like worse, and then worse before they get better. And I'm even leaning a little bit, things can get worse, but then all of a sudden there can be a shock. Something really bad could go wrong. And that would be the Putin card, right? Right? So Richard says S&P mini looks like it's poised to open negative, but that was my plan last night. That was right. So I'd made all those trades 12 hours ago. So if that happens, then that's good. That's good. If it doesn't, I'll probably start jamming some stops, and I'll take a modest profit for the day and then regroup. Okay. Anurag says, hey, Wayne, you once said strong dollar is not good for the markets. No, it's not. But nowadays the dollar is at an all-time high. What's your view on this? Risk off. People, the UK is, the value of the British pound has dropped by 50%. Europe is plummeting. China is shut down. Demand for commodities. It's all down, dude. So what do? You buy the dollar, you buy the yen, you buy the Swiss franc. Okay. What do you mean mutual fund Monday? No, it has nothing to do with the futures contract. It has to do with the Monday after non-farm payrolls. So if at the end of the quarter there was a strategy meeting, or maybe at the beginning of the quarter there was a strategy meeting at the mutual fund. So let's say they took profit on a bunch of things at the end of the quarter or rebalanced. So at the end of the quarter, at the beginning of the quarter, wherever the mutual funds do it, depending on the mutual fund, they have to at least rebalance. And they probably took some profit on some winners and losers, maybe for tax reasons, maybe just for whatever reason, maybe strategic reasons. And so they have all this rebalancing, profit taking and stuff. And then they have a strategy meeting, like what should we buy with the cash that we have? Because remember, they don't get paid to sit on cash. So they needed to deploy. And so they're like, what should we be buying? And in that first week, mutual funds have probably had strategy meetings, and they get to the point where the portfolio managers make a decision on what they want to acquire, but they don't want to do it right before non-farm payrolls. So they let NFP come out, the volatility happens, and then they buy on Monday after non-farm payrolls, which is today. Cool. Okay. Do I trade index futures in the day trading group? No, but you totally could. I mean, we cover enough where you can make all kinds of decisions, James. But am I going to open up the let's say, you mean like S&P 500 and stuff like that? No, but we could if you wanted to. But no, I mean, look, everybody. There's one decision I make as a macro trader. And from that one decision, I could have probably 200 trades if I wanted. Risk on or risk off. So I said last night, I'm poised for risk off. I'm buying dollar. Okay. I'm buying Swiss franc. Okay. I said right off the beginning, I'm going in as a dollar bull. So this is my point of view. I said I could be wrong. I don't know, but I've made some decisions and I explained that. So I just roll in and like, okay, today I'm looking to buy dollar. And I did. But what is that saying? Stock market's probably going to fall. So you're like, oh, yeah, okay. So if you were interested in selling the S&P 500, you're like, well, if I see some dollar strength, that's probably what it means. Also, if you're trading Asia, dude, like, this is why I do the day trading group. There's a pre-Asia setup and then there's a pre-London setup, right? If you're trading Asia, or you're waking up pre-London, you look at what happened in Asia. Asia's negative across the board. It was a big downer. So you're just like, oh, sell the S&P 500. Okay? You see? So it's just macroeconomics, right? Cool. All right, I'll leave you. The stock market's about to open. It's going to be a great day. Thank you for being part of Forex.Today. Thank you for being a subscriber, being an active participant in our community. Thank you for leaving comments, and click the thumbs up button, please. I wish you a wonderful day. And I invite you to join the oil trading course. We only finished the first lecture. The recording's already up there. It's half price. Feel free to join. Plenty of opportunities. We're doing the next one on Wednesday, and it's going to be on the entire history of the oil industry. So it's like reading 2 of these books by Daniel Yergin. This is 1,000 pages of history. I'm going to summarize it in about an hour. Huh? You could read this book. Daniel Yergin, The Prize. That's just one book. The other one is The Quest. I'm basically going to summarize both books in 1 hour. Yeah, for sure, eh? So anyways, the link to that is in the description below. It's half price. You don't need a coupon code. Don't worry about it. It's easy. And for everybody else, if I don't, right, I will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.